Hello, and welcome to Episode 12 of Haste Hobby's Cthulhu Death May Die painting series. Today we will be painting Yog Sothoth, the Elder One, from the Unspeakable box. Let's begin. This model was prepared in the same way as the Black Goat of the Woods in Episode 9. Straight away I begin with a mistake, and paint the model with contrast Apothecary White, doing this in hopes of replicating the paint scheme on the Kickstarter page. The results, however, don't quite match. So I abandon this and go for something that ends up a little more gross. After mistake layer dries, I move on to painting the entirety of this massive writhing abomination with Fireslayer Flesh and a water-thinned Blood Angel's red. I concentrate the red near anything that protrudes from the flesh, like eyeballs, feet, mouths, spikes, and teeth, as well as the undersides of tentacles, when an underside can be determined. This gives that area of the flesh a distressed, sore look. Because I'm painting the flesh and red color at once, they mostly blend into each other. This part was quite laborious, but not as bad as Haster, as Yagi has many fewer tentacles. But next comes the best part, detailing. For detailing, I'm using an off-white, that is bright ivory, and a large brush with a fine tip. I'm picking out all the spikes and teeth on the entire figure. I'm not sweating it if I can't paint the entire protrusion. As a matter of fact, it's better if I cover only a part of each spike or tooth, rather than paint too much and color the flesh. After painting several spikes and teeth, it can kind of look a little stark, but we will be smoothing it out next. To smooth the transition, I'm using Seraphim Sepia and a ruined brush to apply the wash over all the spikes and teeth. This tones down the brightness, provides distinction between the teeth, and blends the spikes into the surrounding flesh. Next, the many eyes of Yog Sothoth. I'm not entirely happy with my color decision here. I chose to use opaque purple as the base color of the eye, and then I use opaque yellow as a dot in the purple eye. I find this didn't stand out enough, and I think a stronger contrast would have been better. Perhaps a very bright blue as the base of the eye and a dot of yellow in that. I'm not entirely sure, but I stayed committed to the purple. It wasn't terrible, and I like saving time. I move on to the base, but as I reflect on the mini, I realize I need to bring out one more detail. But for the base, I'm using Cygor Brown along the edge and Seraphim Sepia in the center, blending the edges together, similar to how I did it in Episode 9. It's now that I realize I really need to bring out the face on this model. To avoid proliferating the number of paints I'm using on this guy, I decided to go with bright ivory, but I thin it down with lots of water, and lightly glaze it on to the details of the face with a fine detail brush. To apply a thin glaze, I load my brush with paint and then dab it off on a paper towel, before applying it to the model. I do this in several thin layers, building up the color on the tip of the nose, eyebrow, cheekbone, and lower lip. Once I have the intensity I'm looking for, I call it done. I may add a coat of varnish later to protect it, but for now, no varnish. And with that, Yog Sothoth is finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. You'll find a list of the products I used in the description of the video below. Tune in again soon as we continue painting minis from Cthulhu, Death May Die.